Hello everybody, here a new video from Renee from Spain, and I want to make this video because not long ago, the 17th of May of this year, of this month, ALGY WARD from Tank, and he was also in The Damned, and he was in other bands too. Okay, I will talk about a little bit because I like to make kind of a homage to this guy. And I make this video for two reasons, of course, especially for this man. But the reason I make it too, the reason I realize making it, it's because a YouTuber called John from Bip Bop Boom, I put a link to his channel underneath this video. He made a kind of a 1 hour, 1.5 hour special showing everything he owns by the Saints, the Damned, Tank, and then in the meantime he plays a lot of songs too, and it's a really cool video. I hope they will not take it down because there's a lot of copyright stuff involved in it, but he does a good job, and he really talks about a lot of things too a little bit, but he let also the music do the talking. But it's really a nice homage to ALGY WARD. And he was born, I made some notes of course, in the southeast of England, the 11th of July from 1959. And he died at 63 years of age. Great bass player, great vocalist too. Yes, I'm not going to talk a lot about this band because Tank, I think most of you guys know them. You know, they were like the little brothers of Motorhead, but they had also their own touch a little bit. I think they were also influenced by Thin Lizzy. You know, in some songs I can hear that that too. Some of the records sounded quite dirty, especially in the first days. You know, they had a dirty production. Even Eddie Clark, you know, from Motorhead, he produced the debut album. And yes, and also ALGY WARD produced some stuff too. I'm going to show you that first, and then I get it out of the way. He produced this album. I have two different versions. Pure Filth, the Roadrunner version, and this is the Neat Records version. He produced both of this, this album. Because Warfare, John already said it too, you know, but like Lemmy, Pete Way from UFO, you know, also he had this dirty touch. ALGY WARD, great bass players, and yeah, one of a kind, really, like really cool. And also on this EP, the Total Death EP, produced by ALGY WARD. This is also great stuff. You know, I call it like metal punk, or at least they influence all the metal punk bands of nowadays that you have around, like Wipe Striker, Atomic Roar, Children of Technology. You know, all those bands are influenced by Warfare, that's for sure, and also by Tank, because Tank also has a punk rock touch. Don't forget, he comes from that scene in the 70s, from 1977 till 1978. He was in the band The Saints, and from 1978 till 1980 he was in The Damned. The John, he plays stuff by this band, some 7-inch singles and some songs from albums. But the start of Tank starts with this EP, Don't Walk Away EP. And this is when also they went on tour with Motorhead. You can see here the tour dates are here, on both sides actually. You see, and this came out also, at least in Spain, I don't know if everywhere in the world, but in Spain, also in 81, this came out also on 7-inch single with the same songs on them. Here we have the classic trio lineup with the two brothers and ALGY. like I said, I'm not going to talk too much because there's a lot to show, you know, and it's already like 5 minutes. I already talked too much, I think. Okay, this is actually the High Roller re-release of the EP, and this has a couple of extra songs on it too, like Run Like Hell, the demo version, Blood, Guts and Beer, the demo version and a live version. Also, Don't Walk Away live. This is very cool. All these tapes, I'm going to show one of them because I will show you quite a few more of these tapes. This came out with High Roller Records, and they re-released a lot of this stuff, also on vinyl and on CD. But the vinyls I'm going to show are all original pressings that I bought during the 90s at record fairs. I went to a lot of record fairs before eBay and Discogs. You know, that's where we could get a lot of cool stuff, you know, from sellers from all around the world a lot of times. Okay, now let's go with the first album. And the first album was Filth, Hounds of Hate. This is actually a Spanish edition. They were quite popular back then in Spain. A lot of the stuff was released also on Spanish editions. And I paid for this one 600 pesetas, €3. I think it's €3, or yes, or a little more than 350. Very, very cheap, of course. But in the 90s, like in 91, 92, 93, I don't know, not many people are interested in this albums on vinyl. Shell Shock, great. Turn Your Head Around, Heavy Artillery, great album. Then I also have again on the High Roller tape with some bonus tracks. They all come with bonus track. Only one tape doesn't come with bonus tracks, but this all comes with bonus tracks. And a single Spanish edition. And on the B-side we have Blood, Guts and Beer. Okay, the second full-length album also came out in 1982. Power of the Hunter. Check out Walking Barefoot Over Glass. Just checked out that one song. I mean, great album too. It's a little bit more polished than the debut album, but I really enjoy it. Also have it on tape again with some bonus tracks. High Roller Records. Still recording. Okay. Then Echoes of a Distant Battle came out in 1983. It's 3 songs, but I don't have the cover. I just bought it this way. There's no cover, but this is the Music for Nations original 3-song 12-inch or EP. Then the third album came out. This Means War. Again, a great album. I mean, I love it. Echoes of a Distant Battle is an epic track. But it's all great. I mean, I love all the songs actually by Tank, I think. There's nothing I don't like about them. I also have the CD version here on High Voltage. It came out like maybe around 20 years ago. They were all re-released. And this is the High Roller, again, tape. And this is also very cool again. Then we have the fourth full-length album, Tank, Honor and Blood. The War Tracks Ever On, I love it. Honor and Blood, I mean, what a great record this is. That came out in 84. Also on CD, High Voltage again. And the High Roller record on tape. And this doesn't have any bonus tracks. This is the only tape without any bonus tracks. Then we have a not a very popular album because he moved to the United States. And then ALGY. And this is the album they released and they toured there a little bit. Then he left, then Tank was finished. After that, 87. I also have Armor Plates. That's the best of with some B-sides too that John showed. But I have it in the shop. I don't have it here. And then he worked also on this album. He plays on this album, you know, the bass and backing vocals. This is from 1991, Atom Gods. History Rewritten. Quite technical power thrush, I would say. And then in the late 90s, Tank came back and they released this live album, The Return of the Filthy Hounds. This has 2 bonus tracks. This is the vinyl version. Live in Germany, August 1997. Great sounding live album. It was limited to 500 copies back then. You see the CD? And then they released a new album that I really, really like. I mean, I think it's a very strong record with Zoom Records. In 2002, this came out. And I think they also toured with Hammerfall back then. And then suddenly you had 2 Tanks. You had this Tank and you had ALGY's Tank. It's this one here. And this is his first album, like solo Tank album, you could say, but under the name of Tank. He does everything on here. All instruments and vocals are done by him. He wrote all the songs. And this came out in 2013. In 2018, he released another record called Stormpanzer. And that was it. Stormpanzer is the last Tank album with ALGY. Of course, the other Tank has been going on too. And I saw this Tank actually some years ago at the festival. But he also worked with Evo, Paul Evo, the drummer and the vocalist from Warfare. And they released this little record, like little EP type of thing. 6 songs. And this came out in 2015. You see? That between the 2 Tank albums he did between 2013 and 2018. He did this one in 2015. Okay, but it's not as good as Warfare or Tank, you know, but it's still quite a okay thing. And we have the song Ramones on here. That's a cover song by Motorhead. That's on the 1916 album. And they do that cover song. You know, all these bands were quite connected. You know, Venom, Warfare, Motorhead, Tank, you know, just great stuff. And they influenced so many bands, Tank. They influenced also Bulldozer from Italy, for example. They influenced Iron Curtain. Iron Curtain, you know, that I'm going to see live again very soon. But anyway, that's it. I hope you like this video. Check John's video. Rest in peace, ALGY WARD. And stay metal, everybody.